It's been a heady year for this man here, the senior most tennis player in India, making it to 2 Grand Slam finals this year. In fact, becoming the oldest player at 43 to make it to a Grand Slam final at the US Open this year. He called time to his Davis Cup career, and now he just wrapped up his Asian Games campaign with a gold in mixed doubles with Rutuja Bhosle. And he's already on to the next assignment in Shanghai, where he's hoping to qualify for the Masters. So on Mic Up today, I have Rohan Bopanna joining me from Shanghai. Thank you so much, Rohan, and welcome to Firstpost.
Oh, most welcome and good to be talking to you. After a long time, and glad to hear that you guys are starting a new venture there.
Thank you so much, Rohan. Now, the first question I have to ask you about is, of course, the Asian Games gold, because quite a seesaw campaign itself with the doubles and, of course, joy at the mixed doubles.
Firstly, definitely like the gold. Can't complain with that. But going into the games, that was my goal. And knowing the fact that we genuinely had a shot to win a gold, and sometimes I like to ensure that tell myself why the purpose of I'm making that journey. I made my debut in 2002 in Asian Games in Busan. So it has been a long time. So I'm when I was sitting on the flight, I was really thinking about it, and it's like, why am I going again to Asian Games? What is the purpose of going there? And obviously there are young players going in there, young team going into Asian Games, and what do I bring in? And those were obviously the thoughts. And then I said, let me, because I was thinking it, I said, okay, let's record it. You got to manifest things. You got to first believe it before you even get to a place. And once we got there, of course it started off with a major setback, losing that men's doubles. Those are the things your experience has brought in to understand. These losses happen. Obviously, when I was practicing there, I told myself, it's still a big event to play mixed doubles, even though I was playing with somebody for the very first time. She was playing for the very first time in Asian Games. I said, let's take one match at a time just to understand how we just manage things, and then we can, take it forward from there. And thankfully for me, when I decided to play with Rutuja, I kind of had an idea of what she brings into the game, and what her strengths are. I'd also spoken to the coach on which side she likes to play. So I said, okay, let's keep it as simple as what she's comfortable with, and then take it forward from there. And yeah, extremely happy.
Right, and we were overjoyed seeing that play out as well for us. But the words you use so much, you said, there's so many other younger people coming in, but you also said the word experience. You're clearly proving age is just a number, and how much of that has really had its impact, especially in building these partnerships that you have on court.
Yeah, Rupa, definitely. It has been one of my best years on the tour. So, I wouldn't, be lying if I say, no, I'm not playing my best tennis, but also I feel that there is a certain role of mentorship, of able to inspire these, young athletes there, just the way of how to manage everything around you, and make them understand there is a lot more pressure when you play for the country than when you're playing for yourselves, and how to deal with that. I think that is a significant aspect where I have learned, and the sport has taught me to. And I really feel bringing that to the table and constantly speaking to all of them. And I'm sure winning gold for Rutuja is such a big moment. Maybe it could inspire and change a entire career, or also inspire some young girls to pick up the sport. I've just been watching her win such a big medal. And I told her that, she needs to really soak in this, atmosphere, because it doesn't come often.
Yeah.
And you don't know if it'll ever come again. But when it is, to really enjoy it, in terms of the way I've been playing, and my fitness, I've been focusing a lot on my recovery part after practice, after matches, and that has really helped in terms of what kind of workouts I do. I do a lot of work with therabands and strengthening, and now and also doing some yoga. Having more weeks of my physio travel that my coach also has helped. Because the tennis part, even if my coach is watching a match, he can surely tell me what I could do better. And the physio, even if they're watching, they can't really help through online. So there are certain things which you prioritize more. And I think that in that aspect, I think doing the right kind of discipline, doing the right kind of exercises, focusing on recovery also has played a lot in terms of how my mental strength has improved, and brought a big aspect to the game. And I've been enjoying my tennis, enjoy competing. And I think that mental strength is the biggest key which I think brought in to this sport. And after so many years, uh, it's like any field. I mean, if you're working in a space for 10, 15 years, you bring in a certain kind of experience. I think so. 10, 15 years of playing doubles, today has really uh, helped me play at the highest level. And at the end of the day, anybody who I'm playing against, I know I have a genuine shot to win the match against. And I think they also know it, that they, I don't think they really consider today me for my age and say, oh, okay, maybe we have a easy
Yes.
shot out there. But I think that has really changed. And I think the biggest compliment for me is not only from people, a little younger, but also in their 40s, understanding that what can be done, but also from a lot of people this year I've met who are non-tennis players, but just who have come up to me and said, you have just been an inspiration in and getting me to start and doing other stuff. And that has been very kind, Rupa, actually.
Yeah, but to be honest, Rohan, you've actually seen it all. You've seen all the highs and lows in your long career. You've sort of traversed all that, and you're probably having like you said, the best year possible in tennis. You reached at the Grand Slam final, the oldest to reach a Grand Slam final here. But tell us about US Open. What a campaign it was for you.
I think, I mean, obviously beautiful, beautiful memories. I mean, making another final of a Grand Slam. It's two ends of the spectrum. I mean, first that was a breakthrough year coming in with Qureshi. The first time I made a final, and then 13 years later, still able to do it with a lot kind of a different experience, and being there, still able to compete at the highest level and give myself my shot to win a Grand Slam. I don't know if how many people truly believed that, but I think as a team who we are, I think we understood that what that journey was. And like you mentioned earlier, a good partnership also plays a huge role to that.
Right, and you did also mention a bit about playing for your country and how that is different from playing for yourself. We have to speak about Davis Cup. That also was a big highlight that happened in the last few weeks. You bid farewell. How was that like? How was it? Was it a little surreal? Take us through that as well, because that would have been emotional for you.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like a normal Davis Cup match. It started till the last day when I saw my family and friends and everybody there. That's when it really actually hit in. Otherwise, it was just felt like, okay, yeah, we're just hanging out here doing the practices. Till that day actually happens. Even though how much ever you tell yourself you're prepared, it is emotional. It is emotional. I mean, I don't know. In a way, right after the match, I think I went in to do an interview and everything. So that kind of took away, that emotional part. I think maybe if the family was there closer, I think, probably I would have maybe broken down, or I don't know, because you're overwhelmed with the entire situation and everything. And so yeah, so I mean, again, proud to have represented India for 21 years, and to have uh, done it in my terms, and still to be able to call it a day at home, I think is always special.
Yes, and we sort of enjoyed watching and catching all those moments as well, Rohan. But you did also make a comment earlier about how there's this lack of camaraderie that you feel currently in the Indian tennis setup here. Could you share more thoughts on that?
I think what we really need is someone to really come there and bring everyone together, and make them understand it's not like a regular job. It's not like a regular ATP circuit they're playing. It's very different. I mean, those 2 weeks in the year when they are playing Davis Cup, that atmosphere should be different. Everybody need to be there to support each other, play each other. I mean, it's not only about their match and then they leave, or either they go back to the hotel, or whatever that reason may be. And I think that comes from the top of understanding and being there. And it's, even though it's twice a year, to even have that communication through the year. So when the player comes in, he needs to be comfortable about the surroundings, and that, I think, will bring that change. And that is somewhere kind of lost, I feel. Yes, players want to play Davis Cup, and then sometimes I feel whether it is, oh, I'm playing another tournament. I don't want to travel all the way to maybe that country or this country. But
Yeah.
then when you bring in a good camaraderie, I think a player automatically will look forward to, and that is what I loved about Davis Cup. I mean, going there, no matter what differences who had in that 5 days, in that 1 week, in that locker room, it was amazing.
Right, and you speak about this sort of, a feeling or this sort of attitude that you have. There's also another part of you that we discovered, which we obviously know because of covering you for so long, was that incident that occurred during the US Open, where the ball hit your forearm, but the point was still awarded to you, and yet you sort of, went ahead and told the referee that, it hit my forearm. And where does that come from? Something like that, Rohan?
It comes from the upbringing, Rupa. It comes from the upbringing to have always been taught to do the right thing. No matter what the situation is, or whether it's on the tennis court, whether it's outside the tennis court. I think those things come in, from having the right kind of people surrounding you, making you understand, how the journey is. And just being honest to yourself. I think at the end of the day, whether you win or lose is part of the game, but you need to just go back and have a good sleep. So that, I think, purely comes from, from that aspect. And I've always been raised, to be someone like that. And I'm thankful to my parents and family around, who have always, no matter which the situation is, to speak up, be upfront about it, but be honest to yourself. And I think that came from, from there. I don't think I even thought twice, before telling the referee that it had touched my hand. And I think the referee was confused herself. I mean, she was shocked because, like you said, nobody really even noticed that it had happened.
Yes, but there's a long road ahead now. You're in Shanghai. Just to sort of wrap up this interview, your thoughts on what the months ahead look like. Of course, there are many other landmarks or milestones that you have in mind.
Yeah, I mean, there are actually wonderful things to look forward to. Like you mentioned, yes, I am in Shanghai, but the number one goal is to qualify for the year-end Masters. That is something when Ebden and me spoke about last year of partnering. We wanted to try and qualify, and it has been a while since I've played that Masters. So I'm really looking forward to being back there. It's going to be a new venue for me. All the Masters I've played was in London. So looking forward to playing Turin. And next year I'm continuing this partnership with Ebden. I'm looking forward to be playing on the ATP circuit. Yes, Davis Cup and the other things I may not really play, but obviously, realistically, there is an outside shot to qualify for Olympics as well, and that'll be wonderful if that does happen. But having said that, the initial thing is to qualify for Turin and then start the year pretty well with Ebden again.
Right, and we wish you all the best as always, Rohan. Thank you so much for speaking to us as always, and good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and all the best to your team at Firstpost, and wishing you guys the very best on a new journey.
It's the dream of every cricketer, the ultimate glory. Few manage to keep their date with destiny, but for many, it's been heartbreaks and a cross to bear. The Holy Grail is here in India. I'm Rupha Ramani, and Firstpost brings you the ringside view. We bring you the Cup of Dreams, Cricket World Cup coverage like never before.